in the public land use zone is on the other side of the creek, and on this creek side that I'm standing on is part of the McLean Creek PRA. So there's two land jurisdictions divided by the creek, which is pretty common in a lot of our recreation areas. So this is also a multi-land use zone. Primarily, land users here are motorized recreationalists. There's also forestry, industry, agriculture, so grazing. So this spot in particular, the Elbow River Watershed Partnership, has a bit of history. In 2007, we saw this as a site that had a lot of sediment flowing in. There's a lot of compaction. There was users crossing the creek, not using the bridge. And so the Elbow River Watershed Partnership did, I think, what was our first restoration project here, working with Dave Polster. And we did a series of willow infrastructure on the north bank and the south bank. And one of the biggest impacts we think that helped improve the situation here is this fence. And so this fence is the second version. The first version was installed, I believe, in 2007, 2008. And then it fell into disrepair and was replaced by Cows and Fish, I believe, maybe last year or the year before. And so this bridge and fencing project has been effective in helping to manage the recreation and not accessing the creek. Downstream of here, downstream of McLean Pond, is considered critical habitat for bull trout. This project, so over the years, we've done restoration where we've done some willow staking, and after the flood in 2013, there was a Backcountry Trails Flood Recovery Trail group that was working on the landscape at the same time as us, and we got together on this project. We noticed that the bridge decking was starting to get weak. The wood, some of the wood was rotten, and there were some holes, and I think some users were probably hesitant to use the bridge, and so we were worried, and the fence was falling into disrepair, so we were worried that people might start crossing the creek again. So we got together with the trail folks from the government, and the Elbow River Watershed Partnership paid for the materials, and then the government folks did the work on the bridge decking, and then we did some willow staking at the same time. So that, and we worked with volunteers that day. So that's an example of a way we collaborated to kind of, in a way, put a Band-Aid on the situation. There's still work that needs to be done in this area. The nature of the trail is it's very soft, and it gets quite deep, and the water collects. And so what happens is some of the users don't mind going through the water. They like the challenge, but a lot of the users don't want to go through the water. They don't know how deep the pond is. They might not have the right setup for that kind of trail crossing. So what happens is the trail gets compacted and then braided. And so then we get a branch. But then because it's very soft material, then it starts to happen again. We start getting the pooling, and then another braid, and then another braid. So now we've got a very wide braided trail system for a short distance between the staging area and this bridge. And what's happening is some of the sediment is getting picked up and running off and ending up in McLean Creek. So our plan is to apply for a grant with environmental damages funds to work together with the government and the trail groups and design a more resilient trail and natural area and riparian area together on the same project. So we'll see what happens.